Hi, Brian McAvoy here with Inside Out Trading, and got kind of a fun conversation today that I want to have with you. This came out of a conversation I had with one of my coaching clients, and he's kind of a cool guy. I've told him straight up that he's an anomaly even among traders. I mean, traders are kind of the exception, a very small percentage of the population, are the type that will become traders. And even among traders, he's an anomaly. He's one of those kind of guys where he's swinging for the fences. He's looking to make his year in a handful of trades and not do tiny trades, hitting for singles, maybe doubles. He's looking for home runs, and that's how he works. Now, where we're at in the conversation and where this pertains to you is as we were talking about, styles of trading and comfort zones and strategies and the way a person goes about their trading or pursues their trading. One thing, and he brought this out, and I thought it was really cool. He said, well, the way I look at it is I look at what hurts me most. He says, it doesn't bother me to lose a little bit of money. If I go in on a trade and I'm wrong and I lose that, I'm fine. What really kills me is to trade too small. If it just pisses me off, if I'm in a trade and I get a little bitty, risk put on. He says, well, I'm looking for a home run. I don't want a little bitty trade where, it's just going to be a little bitty winner, even if it runs. He says, man, I want to ride a big wave over there. And so his whole thing is, he said, really, as far as, choosing how you're going to trade, one of the questions you want to ask yourself is what hurts the most? And for him, yeah, it's not to be on a winner and in big. And he's breaking some of the rules. He will trade up to 5% of his account on a given trade, which most people, that would be a monstrous no-no. Like I said, he's swinging for the fences. So he's looking to make 100 grand on a trade and not trading with $1 million account. But he likes playing the bigger time frames, and he's looking for the bigger winners, and he's betting big when he trades. And so where this pertains to you is, are you playing small, or are you maybe playing too big? Are you playing at a level and a size that's appropriate for you? For some traders, and here's a perfect example, is one gal I was working with years ago. We were taking a look at her system. She was struggling with it and she was very frustrated because she had a real high win rate, but she wasn't making any money. She was still losing money. She goes, Brian, I've got like an 85% win rate and I'm not making money. What the heck? And so we got to looking at it, and it was really aggressive. But the thing is, the way it was structured and the rules and everything, she could win 85% of her trades, but with that one winner when it came along would wipe out just a ton of profit. And it was built into it. And so, when we ran the numbers and, ran the metrics on her system, and I was able to walk her through it all, and she's like, huh. I'm like, so do you really want to stick with this system? Because it's really going to be hard for you to, get ahead with this. Every loser that you hit is going to set you way back. And you're going to be very dependent on that 80 to 90% win rate, just to break even. And she did some reflecting on it, and we talked a couple of days later, and she said, well, actually, Brian, even though it doesn't make sense, I'm still going to stick with it because I need the high win rate. I'll just make sure that I'm managing my position size to help control the win-loss ratio, or the profit-to-loss ratio. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But she recognized in herself she needed to trade small and be conservative, guarding against the losses, because she didn't like losing money, but she really just couldn't handle like a 50 or 60% win rate. She emotionally and psychologically needed that 80 to 90% win rate just to be able to trade. Otherwise, it just totally wrecked her. And it was good that she recognized that. And same thing with the client that I was talking with the other night. He was honest with himself, and he's like, yeah, I couldn't do, like a 1%, per trade risk limit, because it just doesn't work for me, because I'm just going to be sitting there, watching my winner run and just pissed off that I don't have a bigger trade on. And it's always just good to recognize where you are, what resonates with you and what doesn't, and then make sure that, we've got together a plan, a risk management, and money management plan, and a strategy that are really going to fit you and your objectives and how you trade, that it all comes together to make you successful. Some traders, they just jump into it and they're going off, what they heard, wherever it is they started, or, whatever they picked up on a webinar or on a podcast. And they're not necessarily filtering it with, yeah, but does this resonate with me? I understand Joe Blow over here is making money with it, but does that work for me? Am I going to be able to trade like that and not have some internal conflict where I'm going to wind up sabotaging it, or I'm just going to be fighting it all the time because it's not a perfect fit. So really important that you're honest with yourself and you say, and just look at it. It's like, yeah, when I'm trading, what is it that really, instead of, what do I want? What was cool about the question that came out of the conversation is, when you're trading and things, happen, whether it's winners or losers or whatever, but what is it that hurts you the most? What really pains you the most? Is it, losing money? Is it the win loss ratio? Is it too big a trade, too small a trade? Just, kind of reflect on it and see where you genuinely are at when you're being honest with yourself. Sometimes, trading super tiny trades is smart because you got to fear losing money. I had this one guy who was trading a huge account, but he was still placing like 20 other trades because he just couldn't deal with losing money. Even losing $20 bothered him. So it's about being honest with yourself and then being able to structure again your trading between your risk and money management, your strategy, and how you're approaching it, your hours, all that kind of stuff. A lot of details go into it, but we want to make sure that your trading is structured in a way that most resonates with you and still will accomplish your objectives, your financial goals with your trading. Because again, it is a business investment that you've made. So we want to do that. But anyway, I hope that's been helpful. As far as trading being a successful trader is the whole key to it. You want to focus on you as a trader, developing into a successful trader. When you become a proper trader and you're skilled up and you've developed as a trader, you can trade however you want and you can be successful. If you're just focusing on chasing strategies or ignoring, the professional development as a trader, and you just want to chase strategies and discipline and hacks and cheats and that kind of stuff, it's going to be an uphill battle for you. And it can go on for years. So please do focus on you and developing you as a trader. Become the professional that, for whom trading is easy. You make money comfortably, you trade comfortably, it's enjoyable, and you're making the kind of money that you want. So I hope this has been helpful. If it has, give me a like and a subscribe down below, and share this with your friends. As far as having a strategy that resonates with you, I've got a guide. It's called the Perfect Trading Strategy Guide, and it's 9 questions or criteria that you want to review whenever you're looking at a given strategy to make sure that it really does resonate with you. And there are 9 different criteria so that you can look at whatever it is you're considering trading with and see, does it really resonate with you? Is it going to be well aligned with you? So that, yeah, you're very likely to be able to trade it well and not have internal conflicts with it or internal resistance to it. So you can swing by insideouttrading.com and pick that up. Again, it's called the Perfect Trading Strategy Guide. I got some other free resources for you there if you want to book a call with me, talk about what's holding you back and what's the best path to move you forward, go and get you moving forward with your trading. I'd be happy to do that as well. So again, I hope this has been helpful. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.